Okay, uliingia job lini by the?
Niliingia job 1982. Kiganjo. I was recruited in October, but I can't recall which day. Lakini kwenda Kiganjo. Askari yote aizi sahau siku ile alienda college because ukiuliza mtu yote hata wale ma generals atakwambia siku ile alifika kwa gate which was Friday 27th November 1982. Yeah.
Like kitu gani ile ya kwanza venye ulifika hivi, like the first memory yani that I forget like during that day?
Okay, kuna ile set like universities or schools unakutaga mimi ni mtu ya Nairobi Technical O levels ya 79 ama unakuta mimi nasema mimi ni mtu ya Bungoma High School A levels ya 81. So unakuta watu kuna hiyo class of so our class was called detail number 41.
Detail number 41.
Namba za kwanza mbili kwa kifua zine 41. Sasa hiyo detail number 41 tulipata challenges nyingi sana. Tulipata challenges nyingi. Challenge ya kwanza ni kwamba we were very few. Polisi walikuwa wamefika pale waka stop recruiting police. So wakati unaenda Kiganjo you see unakuta yule like I don't know whether 844 can understand, lakini sisi watu ya form 5 form 6 ulikuwa ukiingia nini form 5 unakuta mtu ya form 6 sasa atakomenta na ukifika form 6 una mentor mtu ya form 5. So utakuja ukute sisi hatukukuwa na watu ya kutumenta. Number 40 hatukuwapata. So we didn't get people to mentor us. And there was a lot of physical work. College had stayed, and you know Kiganjo is a cold area near Mount Kenya. Rain and whatever. Nyasi ndio hiyo imemea. So it was more like a prison. But what I would say is that physical work and lack of mentorship, because as a new recruit you're supposed to get an old recruit. But we didn't get any. It's funny that the first day tuliona tu tarumbete na ring, watu wanatembea na masahani, wanaenda wanakula, wanarudi wanasema mbona msiende Simes? Tunauliza what is Simes? Wanasema huko ndio mnatakana mkule. Then we just rushed the direction they were coming from. Kwenda kufika huko tunakuta hall, dining hall. Tunaambia na masahani ziko wapi tena, tarudi kwa nini? So and then that was the first day. Then from there tukakula. It was a lot of food kwa vile askari anakula chakula mingi. None of us atalikula nusu. Tukarudi kwa dormitory. Dormitory, by the way, if you hear the word barrack, that is a dormitory. Tukarudi kwa barrack. So tunakaa tu. Namjua na simuende mtafute mattress na blanketi. So tatafuta wapi? It's night, ujui uende.
Hakuna mtu anawa guide.
That is why we needed senior recruits to mentor us. But you see, naambia enda junior uchukue mattress, blanketi na bed sheet ilikuja baadaye. Unashindwa junior ni upande ano. So it was, we were just ni kama somebody was born with sight, alafu one day unakuwa blind. Moving those are the challenges. Another challenge was we were few. Well, those who followed us were 1,000. Na sisi tulikuwa around 300. So utakuja ukute walimu wana concentrate kwetu, na unajua walimu wa military course ni kama jela. Wana kuharas. Sasa you see you are few, so they concentrate on you.
There's a lot of attention.
That is the challenges we had.
Okay. Now it last how long? Like how long does the training go?
Exactly 6 months. 6 months. Because we went there on November 27th, 1982, which was a Friday. Na tukatoka huko 27th May 1983, which was also a Friday.
Okay. So ukitoka unaingia rank gani?
Constable. Actually, you are still a recruit for 2 years.
Oh.
But you'll just be called a constable because it is after ndio hii vitu siku hizi mnasema sijui intern.
Intern, yeah.
So unatoka kiganjo unakuwa intern for 2 years. But only police officers know that you are an intern. Yeah, for 2 years and after unakuwa confirmed. But when you are doing your work, arresting or anything, you just say you are a constable. In reality, there are two realities. Once you say Mungu nisaidie, the kiapo cha utii, that is the time you are now supposed to change from recruit to askari. But also there is another one again. Just like we have we measure temperatures with centigrade and Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
So centigrade niyo ukiswea kiapo cha utii, but Fahrenheit is when you now be confirmed and you no longer become an intern. Yeah.
Oh, you no longer. Considering now tuseme hii experience ya kuwa polisi, hii ni kitu yenye maybe nimeenda mbali sana, but then would you advise someone to join the police?
If I were to be young again, I would go to the lineup. And there is something that many people have not talked and have never thought about it. It happened twice. If you look at the National Youth Service, the way it was started by J.M. Kariuki. Yeah, it was started by J.M. Kariuki with technology from Israel. The intention was that every youth who completes Form 4, so long as he is physically fit, he or she is physically fit, and if it is a she, so long as she is not pregnant, they were supposed to undergo several period. In Israel, you complete school, you have to serve the National Youth Service for 2 years.
Wow.
I would think if such a thing can happen in Kenya, that would be okay for everybody, apart from those who are physically challenged. After Form 4, you go for NYS. That one was started. It was even during Moi's time. There's a time when they introduced that you complete Form 4, Form 6, you complete Form 6 before going to the university. But then it was discontinued because of certain issues. But if I were to be asked that, I would think in the future, the government should think of young people working for the nation for 2 years before branching off to other things. And remember, when you are working for the nation, hakuna mshahara. It is just pocket. Yeah. Like the president is now talking about cleaning Nairobi River.
Yeah.
Now imagine taking all the youths who have completed Form 4 before joining university.
Yeah.
Then they land in Nairobi River for 3 months. It will be
very clean.
Yeah. And then they are not paid. You know, if you put their salary element, then the government cannot, it has limited money. Yeah.
Very true. So in your work, now we can say you kwa wale wenye hawajui, you ended up in special branch.
Yeah.
Today
is called NIS.
NIS. Hiyo ilikuwa in a span of how long before you joined?
Okay. I joined special branch on 1st September 1984.
Oh.
Yeah, that is just less than it was 1 year, just shortly before it reached 2 years, because if I would have stayed 1984 up to November, then I would have served in general duties. You know, people say regular, but hakuna kitu inaitwa regular police. It is general duty police. I worked as a general duty police officer for 22 months.
22 months.
Yeah. Most of my life was in intelligence. Yeah.
Intelligence. So wakati uliingia intelligence useme of course each work has its challenges and maybe kuna ile challenge ilikuwa like the most challenging part of your work.
The challenge was the government that was there. The challenge was the government that was there because you find you are taught something and then unaambiwa hiyo ni ya college. That was the challenge. We found ourselves in a lot of time doing things that
they are conflicting
that are conflicting with what we were taught at Special Branch Training School. And if we were to work the way we were taught, because we were taught to advise the government, if we would have advised the government more, you would not have been a dictator. But it reached a time when we finished college training, you go out and then you are told to read, to what do you call, mind read Moi, so that you advise him what he wants to hear. And that one is what spoiled that. But if we were to do exactly as we were taught, I tend to believe that intelligence was very good during Kibaki's time.
During Kibaki's
because Kibaki did not impose his ideas on.
So he kind of stayed on his lane and left the intelligence to do its work.
Not even that. Kibaki was different. He was the other extreme. Because Kibaki was the type of a person you could tell him something and when you leave, generally he has even forgotten what you told him. Kibaki would be attentive and remember anything that was to do with the economics, developing of the country. But if you go to him and tell him other things, when you leave, hata mtu akimkuta muulize na huyu alikuambia nini, alikuja tu na kaongea na akaenda. He even switches, he had the ability to switch off.
So now that kulikuwa na hiyo conflict, maybe you are taught this and also you need to do this which is different. So how did you handle that conflict? And also maybe ilikuwa in terms of what you believe in, let's say your personal ethics. Like how are you handling that? Do you just maybe, because now you are in the job, let's go with what's on the ground?
I was a bit different. I was a bit different because there are several occasions. I would say I was different because of two things. One, I'm made differently.
Okay.
Two, most of the seniors were people who are known to my father. So there is a number of occasions when I would go and discuss things with him. And he would tell me, don't stop. And there are other occasions we could discuss and he would tell me, write. You go and write that one. And then so I used to interact with my colleagues. They would tell me everything. And I would tell them I'm going to write. They say, okay, but don't include my name. We had something that was called amalgamated report. Amalgamated report is a report that is prepared by more than one person. So in drafting, it was amalgamated, but in typing, it was only mine. Because someone will say, wewe mwenyewe ukichomeka ni shauri yako. And then it also brought tension between me and my colleagues. Because that sign of everybody's fearful. But people used to think I'm fearless and whatever. I would tell the government whatever was happening. So you'd think that is when people come with an afterthought that why don't you include me in that? But you say the letter has already gone to Nyati House. I cannot now follow it and say, you see, so and so. So it also brought tension between me and my colleagues because they would occasionally say mtoto ya mkubwa anapendelewa, or they would say after all those ideas are not his, he borrowed.
Nyati House ilikuwa ni headquarters
Nyati House was the national headquarters. The first headquarters was opposite Central Police Station. And the university, at the it's more opposite the university. There is a footprint, footbridge.
Okay.
You cross and if you go there today, it's called the Kingsway Tires.
Kingsway, yeah.
Yeah, Kingsway Tires. It used to be called Kingsway House because government road. The road has changed 3 times. It is now called Moi Avenue.
Moi Avenue.
Moi's Avenue. When Kenya was a colony, Moi Avenue was called Kingsway. Barabara ya mfalme. Then when Kenya got independence, Jomo Kenyatta called it Government Road.
Government Road, okay.
Government Road. Hakuna mfalme. It is now the government is the mfalme. Yeah. But when Moi took over, Moi was now the mfalme. He was the kings. So Kingsway, it becomes Moi's Way or Moi Avenue. Now the police station, this police station called Central Police Station, used to be called Kingsway Police Station. Because it was just like we have a police station called Jogoo Road Police Station. So this one was called Kingsway Road, Kingsway Road Police Station, just like Jogoo Road Police Station. So Kingsway Road Police Station is what today is called Central Police Station. Yeah. And opposite the university at the footprint, there was a house, and it is still even today called Kingsway House. Okay. That was the initial special branch office. That was the initial special branch office. But then they built a Nyati House along, what do you call it? Loiter Street, along Loiter Street, which was specifically intelligence to replace the Kingsway House. Okay. Kingsway House is the house that J.M. Kariuki was killed in. That house, if you are opposite the university, there is a footbridge. Opposite the university, there is Kingsway Motors. That is the building that J.M. Kariuki was fatally shot. And do you know the former name of Nairobi University?
No, I don't know.
It used to be called Royal Technical College, RTC, Royal Technical College. And the university used to be in Makerere. Yeah, it used to be called University of East Africa at Makerere. Now, the chancellor, the chancellor was, Makerere is in Kampala.
Yeah.
But the chancellor was Mwalimu Julius Nyerere. So whenever they used to graduate, the 3 prime ministers and later 3 presidents used to go to Makerere. But the chancellor was. So they later made some faculties, like the faculty of law was taken to Dar es Salaam. That is why you find all lawyers, Kina Mutula Kilonzo, went to Dar es Salaam Law School. And then some faculties were brought to Royal Technical College. Royal Technical College, they complained that what about, Royal Technical College was a polytechnic. So they said, what do we do? Then they moved up to the end of the road, end of the government road to start Kenya Polytechnic. So just like Kaimosi TTC moved out and it became Kaimosi University. Yeah. Kisii TTC moved out to become Kisii University. That is the way the Polytechnic moved from Royal Technical College and moved to the end of the road, and it became University of Nairobi.
Okay. Now, you have talked about J.M. Kariuki.
Yeah.
And I think lately most people identify you as the person who kind of came out to say these cases happened this way, this what happened. And maybe some people don't know about that. But then maybe for me, I would love to know, how did you come to investigate or know about these cases?
You'll find that not all the deaths happened during my time. Political assassinations. Yeah. There are those that happened before, during, and after.
Okay.
I'll start with the after. You know, if you have been a teacher, you know how staff room is even after you've left teaching.
True.
And then before, first of all, I joined the police as a Form 6. And those days, even getting somebody who is okay, our time used to be standard 7. So getting anybody who is a primary standard 7 person was not easy. So getting a Form 6 was, and then I was placed in a section that collates and it was called C&D.
C&D.
Collation and dissemination of intelligence. So collation and dissemination of intelligence, those people used to say, unaona hiyo report sasa andika kwa ile kizungu ulisomea. Andika kwa ile kizungu ulisomea. And that is why as a young person, you know, somebody in his or her mid-20s, unaandika kitu na kizungu ingine very complicated. Unaweka zile maneno ngumu. And for you to get that story, you had to interview those who were there. Like the person who was the receptionist in Kingsway House when JM was being and I could get people who were there and whatever. They would tell me, you know the reports that they used to write in language similar to English. That is the for lack of, yani they would write in English but broken English. But when I went there, we had this thing that was called indexing. Indexing is collapsing a big story into small ones. You know, those days we did not have computers. Computers, you can keep the whole document. But those days you had to keep records. And the system was, even when I was translating, I had to have my translated version and the original there. So you'd find that in the cupboards there, the files were full and other files were coming in. We did not have these GBs where you could save as millions of documents, whatever. So I came in to summarize those things. Something like 4 or 5% of a story. If it is a file, 100 files, you're supposed to reduce them to be 4 files.
Wow.
So that reduction, that summary, you'd find the way the person has written, first of all, he is poor in English. And another thing, you'd sense he's hiding a lot of things. So you'd tell him, okay, I'm not going to tell anybody, hii ni yetu nataka tukupata your picture. And then that is how I got the information.
Now that, of course, this telling these stories, also sometimes inaweza come na other risks. Because anything can happen. How do you cope?
There is also other risks people don't know. If I know that you know my secret and you have not said it, I can kill you so that it doesn't come out.
True.
So that is one. I think there are 3 points. One, the fact that you know the secret, you're already under risk. Because when I talk, I'm sorry to say, but even those people who know it, their life is in risk because somebody may say, let us kill the other person so that when James is asked for a collaborator, he finds the person is not there. That is one. Hiding something, you also pose yourself to a risk. The other thing is anybody who has joined disciplined forces, the day you are given a gun for the first time, you accept death to be part of your life. Because we have police officers. People are saying watu wataenda Haiti wakufe. But there is a police officer who was trying to assist people to cross Nairobi River. I think he was an AP. He has never been found. We have police die everywhere every time. It's only that in Haiti, family wataangaliwa. Family wataangaliwa. They'll just miss their breadwinner. lakini they'll not sleep hungry.
Will not sleep hungry.
They are getting 300,000 per month on top of what they get. So after 1 year, somebody is coming out with 3M.
Yeah.
And I think they have completed around 4 months already. So you'll find that
money-wise, it's okay.
Joining the police from the day you joined, from Friday, 27th November 1982, you just accept death. Then lastly, the first one I said was, if you don't talk, you risk. The second one I talked of acceptance. Yeah. And then lastly, I would say that people place themselves in risk when they use the information they have to gain money. Yeah. Unaona mimi najua mengi na najua mambo yako.
Najua
sasa like Jacob Juma was good in that. Jacob Juma was good in that. Yeah, telling you go to somebody and tell him, unaona nimeongea ya huyu na huyu. Sasa wewe utachota milioni ngapi? Utachota milioni ngapi ndio
ninyamazie.
Some people may give you that money, but they know you'll not see Christmas. So those are the three. But then we don't know. Maybe somebody's looking for me. You know, you can reach somewhere and boast.
Yeah.
And it is when you place down your guards that you are caught. Don't have a set timetable.
It's quite predictable.
And also eating at people's place. Because if you remember very well, the Philistines used somebody close to Samson.
Yeah.
And Jesus was given a kiss of death by his followers.
Yeah.
So those people who are close to you are the ones. Mwingine anaweza ambiwa hata 100,000 asa hiyo eka tu powder. So but the most important it's God.
It's God.
Because you may boast that unajua nimeattend GSU, nimeattend but I think 99% is God.
It's God. You have talked about like ile day yenye unapewa your gun, you accept. What's the feeling like you know now, unajua watu wengi wanaonanga gun, they fear the gun.
Yeah.
How is it like handling the gun for the very first time?
Wewe unasema watu wanaona gun wanafear because where you come from and where you're brought.
Yeah.
Kuna some parts of Kenya. Turkana, West Pokot. They used to visit us in the camp. Wanasema mimi ni kama wewe, tutafauti wewe unalipwa na serikali. There are some people who are used to guns, but that one I have to thank the instructors in the college. Because imagine somebody entering Kiganjo. Nowadays I think they go there for 9 months. And you know they are educated.
Yeah.
We were going there for 6 months, illiterates. But nowadays they go there. I hear that if you have a C-, then you must be coming from arid lands. There are some places even if you have a C+, you will not be taken. Because there are some counties, don't want to mention them. They say that they want C+ and above.
Yeah.
And you find people with a degree.
Yeah.
Okay, police do not take degree people nowadays. For once they are employed, they take the National Police Service Commission to wanataka mshahara kubwa something. But I'm saying that you'll find that when you're going to a recruitment center, you'll find that they want 10 people, and we are having 200 with Bs. The Bs and above. So that way they'll just eliminate the C people automatically.
Yeah.
But those days we used to have people who were illiterate. And what I was trying to say is that imagine getting somebody illiterate, somebody who has never handled a gun, entering Kiganjo. Because I remember the first time bullet was shot, it was a blank bullet. He was telling us how the bullet works. And then he squeezed the trigger. It was a blank. After it made noise, one of the recruits was at the gate. He was at the gate.
Alitoka mbio.
But he was chased and they got him and brought him back. And my father was a police officer. I used to handle guns before. I used to handle guns in washing, cleaning, that is.
Okay.
I used to clean my father's. He had taught me how to clean the guns even when I was in secondary school before joining high school. So imagine he did better than me when it came to. So I want to say that colleges, Kiganjo, Embakasi, what do you call, Kenya Defense Forces, schools, getting somebody like that one, somebody who has never had sound of a bullet, and he comes out being a sharpshooter. They know how to teach people.
They know how to teach people.
And you know somebody, and they were not learned. These sharpshooters were not learned.
Okay. Was the life ya police back then more like the same right now? Am I different?
Right now is better because how many constables do you get with vehicles around? During our time, it was unheard of. It was unheard of. We could not afford vehicles. So they are there. And then there is also the level of education. Then there is the technology. Like we used to torture people to extract but today the DNA, there are so many things that you can prove even without
using fixes.
Your phone has placed you at the scene of crime. The CCTV you have passed, it has placed you at the scene of crime. Just like those boys in, was it yesterday, those boys in Mombasa who were walking around with punkers. They were arrested with the same clothes. So and then nowadays and that is where Gen Z went wrong. They were complaining about the government spending a lot of money on confidential budget. Now confidential budget assists because somebody just looked at the CCTV. It was on social media, and they knew this and so and so. So goes to the police station, given 1,000 shillings, the person is arrested. So technology nowadays is high, and the Gen Z should know that issues. If we reduce the confidential budget, then you'll start wondering why. We will start having Westgate, we'll start having Dusit. But you see, for those, is it 15 years? We have only had Dusit and Westgate and Garissa University. So we are doing that because the intelligence is high. If the intelligence goes low, that is... but you see, Gen Z, they know too much. They know.
They think they know too much. They might not. So comparing, let's say, the political atmosphere back then and now, in terms of security now, because ulikuwa hiyo mambo ya intelligence, was it influencing? Does it influence, let's say, security ama intelligence a lot?
What I'd say is that Kibaki. People know that Kibaki did a lot in building thicker superhighway, whatever. But then also Kibaki did a lot in opening up what do you call democratic space. You can say anything. There are those if any other person would have taken over from Moi apart from Kibaki, and you call the president Zakayo, utakuwa mboga ya fisi. Utakuwa mboga ya fisi.
So we have him to thank for it.
He did a lot. I mean, we there are those things that we see. The CDF came during his time. A lot of things were built, constructed. If Kibaki would not have been the president, if it was any other person, name him. Not necessarily a Kanu man. Kenya would not be here when it comes to issues to do with with the democratic space. He would say wacha aseme tu na kisha sema si atachoka tu naende. And before Kibaki died, before Moi died, I was informed that he had a regret. He had a regret that he killed a lot of people, but Kibaki had made him realize that he would just have left those people to talk now. Wangelala tu, iko nini wala. So he really felt bad during his last days. But you see his position, he could not call a press conference and yeah, it's beyond nini.
Yeah, true. Investigative. Okay. Okay. Maybe kumalizia on that topic.
Yeah.
Concerning your career, maybe are there some of the decisions maybe, if given a chance, would have wanted to make in terms of maybe to take a different direction in your career, or you are okay with the decision that you made back then?
I don't regret, especially when history proves you right. I've suffered. You personally know that. Yeah. I've suffered, and the only regret I have is that the subsequent governments, there's no need of the government accepting and even putting on writing that it wronged you. And then it is even better they would have blamed me or whatever. Why should they acknowledge that it was wrong for me to be sacked, and something should be done, and then they just leave me that way?
Yeah.
It is hurting because they have powers to
change that,
to compensate me. But then you find it's really funny because we have people like Mwema, he's dead. We have people like Major General Karaoke. I know of 20 people. I know 20, but I don't think we can reach 200. I don't think we can reach 200. If the government just woke up and did as per what is written, there is a Colonel Mwema differed with the wife, so in case of any payment, he has no son. He only had daughters. So if there is any cash to exchange hands, the daughters will have to be called, and they have to agree how to share. I think the best way to share is, we have that problem in many families, because we will find one daughter wanting to have a half and the other shares. But if there are 7 or 8 or whatever, why don't you have that money then divide equally among the number of daughters? Because they are known, and he has even been photographed with them. I think there are 2, if I'm not wrong, 2 or 3. If there are 3, why can't each be given a third of whatever? There is a judgment also about Major General Mwangi. There is these things is just something that the government cannot feel it, but you find somebody saying that that money is too much, take the case to court, like Mwema's case. And you find when it is taken to court, the court says that the government should pay with interest. Now the government, which says that let's say 100% of what they was to pay, they say that is too much. Then you take the case to court. The court says the government shall not pay. They will pay 100% plus interest plus court
fee
and whatever. I think there are some people in the government, akiona unabeba bahasha kubwa anasikia wivu. That is the only explanation I can say.
Okay. Now, this may be advice to young Kenyans who want to join the intelligence. There's a way, kind of Western movies are kind of woven around intelligence, clandestine operations, and all that. And there's a way now people view at school, until maybe that, because maybe the way it is perceived in those movies imewekwa, tunaonanga it's it's a job I would love to do.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, but then maybe in reality it might be something sitting like this, sitting on the desk, going collecting evidence, following through things and all that.
Yeah.
It's not about chasing guns and shooting people and all that. Tuseme watu wako interested in such a career. What maybe can you be able to tell them?
One of the biggest mistakes Kenya has done as far as intelligence work is concerned is that we have CBC, but let's go back to the 844 or even 763. You find that somebody in Form 2, he has decided or she has decided the job she wants.
Yeah.
And if you sit with him or her, he can or she can give you a hint of the kind of a job.
Yeah.
I want to be a doctor because I've seen people sick and whatever and whatever. Or even we had a very sick person and I saw a certain doctor. Or you'll find somebody saying, I want to be this and that. But the problem we have in Kenya, how many pupils who are doing their Form 4 know the work of the intelligence? Completely none.
None, true. Very few.
There is completely none. I would really wish that between Form 1 and Form 2, or is it the current now is grade 8?
Yeah.
Between grade 7 and 8, they get an impression of what intelligence is. And even when I joined the intelligence, it was big secret. We were not even supposed to. And even most of the time I used to stay in, most of the time I used to work with the intelligence. And even right up to now, I usually talk to DCI. DCI people. Do you know that DCI people, many of them do not know the mandate of the intelligence? Now, if the DCI has no idea. But then in a brief, we have very many challenges. The challenges that were there when I was there are not the challenges we have today.
Okay.
We are supposed to know about people who may be going to places like Garissa, let's say Al-Shabaab, to indoctrinate youths.
Yeah.
We would also want to know people. You know, people, when you talk about religion, fanatism, people always think of Al-Shabaab. But you know, Mackenzie is worse than Al-Shabaab.
Yeah.
So you find the government should know what is happening there and should know when to strike. So we have such things. We have things such as the government came out with fertilizers. Then some people are being sold other things that were not fertilizers.
Yeah.
The government should know. The government should know how comes that fertilizer came from Ukraine, landed in Kenya, but went to the shamba. Some of them being this. So the government is supposed to have people. You are working in the packaging.
Yeah.
You are working in the packaging of because when it comes from Ukraine. If you read the packaging of the fertilizer, it's written it's from Ukraine, but it is written somewhere in Kenya. So it comes in grade and then it is packaged somewhere in Kenya. So somebody comes up with the black cotton soil
And a mix.
anachukua ana package, let's say 1,000 bags anazieka hapo and then takes 1,000 bags, goes with them to sell. So intelligence is supposed to know. And nowadays intelligence is easier than during our time because there is the technology.
Yeah.
There is lie detectors. There is the lie detectors. There is the CCTV. There is your phone also sells you saying that between this and this hour you are in Kibra, so you could not be in Kangemi killing somebody.
Yeah.
So in brief, the government should know what is happening. Government should know what is happening every time. because if Mackenzie would have been arrested the first time, so it is a failure of the intelligence. Another failure of the intelligence is this Gene C. You see, they were supposed to know. Actually, if I were the director of NIS, I would recruit a lot of IT people, because we are now having a non-convention for somebody to come and group in so many Gene Cs. Not that they met anywhere or whatever, just through social media. I think they should recruit a lot of informers, and not even just informers, even members of staff who are IT literate, so that those Gen Z wakiongea, there are two ways there. There are two ways there that the government can look at it, looking at the Gen Z issue. One, from Gen Z, they should have told the government that young people are complaining about this and this, and then the government would have taken action before it reaches that time. Okay. Another thing was to infiltrate them and know who is who and whatever, so that the government knows. But you see, the government, the intelligence slept, and so the government was caught red-handed.
Okay. So wajoin ama wasijoin?
I can't say yes or no. Because I loved the job. No, I didn't love the job because I didn't know it. I didn't know it. Actually, I knew about intelligence after joining. But if I were to be young, I would still join the intelligence. Mostly people say that, even intelligence officers themselves tell me that I have, what do you call, there are those things that you are taught, and then there are those things that you are inbuilt. So I have that talent and whatever. And for you to be a good intelligence officer is that, first of all, you have to have a good memory. And you a good memory because you are supposed to... There was a time someone used to... When somebody talks, someone writes. So you find that a politician is talking in a public meeting and he sees the special branch officer, by then special branch, just idling and bored. But when he talks something, he sees that one writing. So he's interested in such a topic. Then later it was changed that if someone has a topic, has said something, you rush to the pit latrine. You take out, people think that you are diarrheaing or something. You take out a note and write. So when you are in the pit latrine, whatever is talked,
huwezi jua.
And then the politicians would monitor you. Ukienda pit latrine, then we can't allow this tribe to come and attack us. Whatever. And then when you come back, he says, Kenya ni wa Kenya wote sijui nini. So it is somebody who is supposed to be in a place. And when you are in a... The only thing that disqualifies me from an intelligence officer. An intelligence officer is not... You know, mi nikitembea palipoto, bari ya Khwatenge. That is the only thing that disqualifies. But you are supposed to do that. And you are supposed to have a very good way of assessing things. Telling the government, now, if you do this, do this. Like this thing about university funding. Somebody, the boy you know, first year he was 7%. Now second year is being told he's gone to 30%. So these are the things that the intelligence are supposed to have discussed with the government. So that when the government goes to say, okay, we are doing this, intelligence officers are supposed to look at all scenarios. But the disadvantage of intelligence officers is that you give the political or the government, you give them the option to say A, B, C, D. And to say the goodness and the badness of the pros and cons of each. And then you leave that person to make a decision. Unless, of course, if that person says, na wewe ungekuwa hapa. But in most cases, you just say, If you do this, okay, you have said students will pay 7%. Now you have to look for the 93%. So intelligence is somebody has got to be sharp, has got to keep a good memory, somebody who does. You see, there we have some people who are born askaris.
Yeah.
There are some askaris hata akijua ni ndege ya president anaipigia salute whether the president is in or not.
Yeah.
So that one cannot make a good intelligence officer. An intelligence officer is somebody who stands up and faces the boss and tells. The option is an intelligence officer is not supposed to make a decision for you.
Anakupa option.
Anakupa option, anakuambia ukifanya hivi the pros and cons of all of them. Yeah. So what I would say is that in the CBC, somebody in grade 7 and 8, before they sit for their O levels at grade 9, should have known that, so that and then the apart from technical departments, because we have technical departments, in developed like what happened in Hamas, we have intelligence officers who went and placed explosives explosives in the pages.
Yeah, in pages. Yes.
Yeah, those are technical people, but an ordinary intelligence officer on the field is somebody who is very good in current affairs, very good in language, very good such things. Yeah, but the problem we have in Kenya is you always know about your job when you have signed it and you have gone to the training school. Yeah.
So as an intelligence officer, unafaa kujulikana, do you say like watu wakujua ma you are supposed to be?
There are two various sections. There are those who are supposed to know you. There are those positions you are supposed to be known. Okay. Because, for example, here, if you don't know the person who is the SIO around, security intelligence officer, if you don't know the SIO around and you see a suspicious moving person, like where do you go?
Yeah,
this is when you find, like the case of Dusit. Someone said these people used to come and they would not go to the hotel, they would just park the vehicle there, eat mira for a long time. That is a thing you are supposed to tell the intelligence officers, that they monitor those people. Yeah. So there are those who are there's departments which you are supposed to be known. We have other departments which even the intelligence officers are not supposed to know those ones.
They don't know they exist.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Okay, that's good.